right, what is going on, guys? My name is Jack Duffy, and welcome back to the Green Collar Entrepreneur Podcast. I guess it's not welcome back because this is the first episode. What is going on, guys? And welcome back. Good morning. And I'm happy that you guys are here. If you guys are checking out the podcast, this is awesome. I'm super excited to launch this podcast covering everything within the green industry, which is something that I am super passionate about. It's something that I actually kind of went to school for. Didn't really stick out with the school part. I wanted the experience, so I worked for my dad. He was my mentor. He taught me everything there is to know about landscaping and lawn care and turf management. And I'm currently in the process of taking my exams to get my turf management license here in Bucks County, PA. So I just kind of want to go over my business and why you guys should be even watching this. We're going to grow together. That's the whole goal of this channel. I never wanted to be like, hey, you guys should do this. Hey, you guys should do that. So any advice you guys hear on this podcast is what I'm implementing into my business. Do not take it as the 100% gospel truth, because that is just not the case. All right, this is what's worked for me. This is what hasn't worked for me. And if you want to, if you're starting out, if you're a newbie, some of us, we already know these things. We've been in the industry for long enough. I've been in this industry for over 11 years now. It's been a wild ride. It's been fun. It had up, it had down, and it's been one of the best experiences of my life. And I'm super passionate about it. But if you are just starting out, this is a great podcast. This is a great template for you guys to kind of get what not to do and what to do from somebody who already has been there and done that. Just a little stand, or just kind of to cover some of my bases here. I want to introduce my company. My company is JW Landscaping LLC here in Bucks County, Pennsylvania. We do about, I'd say right currently in this moment, we do about $125,000 to $130,000 worth of revenue. We are in the process of merging with my father's company this coming fall, which is super exciting, amazing stuff, and we'll be doing even more revenue in the next year to 2 years to 5 years. We're hoping to be at that 500K, almost $1 million in 10. So that's our goal. We have amazing goals. We have an amazing crew, and we have a lot of great people on, and we'll have those people on for future podcasts. But today, we are going to be talking about one of the hottest topics in the mowing industry, which is stand-on machines versus sit-down machines. So some of you guys, if you already are in this industry, you know, you got your bread and butter. You love your sit-down zero turns. Some of you are like, hey, man, what is this stand-on wave that is coming through our industry in the mowing industry and lawn care industry? That is kind of taking it by storm. I've noticed it a lot over the last 2 years. My area doesn't really have a lot of stand-on machines ready available. You would have to order it, which I did this spring actually to get my Skag V-Ride 2. But I want to kind of go over the pros and cons, what I'm using in my company, what we're going to be using in the future, and what we've used in the past, what we're still currently using, and give you my 2 cents, what we're thinking, what we're going to be leaning toward. I know that Brian's Lawn Maintenance, one of my big, kind of distant mentors, someone I watch a ton because I am just such a big fan of his, and I've learned a lot of marketing skills and things like that from him. He is the standard, in my opinion, on the YouTube front. There's a bunch of different guys out there, but I am a huge fan of Brian's Lawn Maintenance, and he just covered this on his podcast, and I wanted to kind of give my 2 cents as being in this industry for 11 years, working with sit-down mowers, now working with stand-on mowers, and also walk-behind mowers. So let's get into it. Let's do this. I'm going to pop in a Zin. I don't know if you guys are Zin guys. I am a Zinner. Are Zimbabwe's, the Zin pillows, as they call them. But I used to dip tobacco many moons ago, and I quit nicotine for about 8 years. And it was one of the best experiences of my life. However, the only reason I quit nicotine was because I didn't want to get cancer, right? Tobacco, horrible stuff. I smoke cigars still every now and then, but I stay far away from tobacco products if I can, because I want to live a long life. I want to prosper with my wife. I want to have babies. I want to do the whole deal. And I don't want to be risking my health. And that's where Zins come in for me. I'm not marketing this. I'm not saying you guys should try it. If you do try it, be safe, be smart, know your body, and be sure you're over 21, okay? That's my only disclaimer, but I'm going to pop one in. I know for us, for this podcast, we're green collar guys, but we are blue collar workers. For all you construction guys out there, fuck you. We are blue collar workers, us landscapers, so pop her in the upper deck, make a pecker bigger. That's what I keep hearing from Outlaw Dip over there. But here we go. So let's get into this topic. Let's talk about stand-on mowers versus sit-down mowers. What is the best product for your company? And the simplest answer and the most political answer is whatever works for you, dude. Whatever you are more comfortable with, go for it. All right, that's my biggest thing. But I want to talk a little bit about it for anyone who doesn't know the stand-on scene. I have now logged, I believe, 286 hours on our Skag V-Ride 2. It is I think the 28 horsepower. So we bought a little bit, on the lower end of the horsepower side, the commercial engines. But I wanted to kind of dip my toes in and not go fully send into the 36 horsepower just yet. But we wanted to give it a shot and see how we felt when it came to the stand-on, what the guys were thinking, and if it was something that we could do in the future or go completely stand-on only versus sit-down. So I'm just going to say point blank, this is my personal thing that I'm implementing in my company over the next 5 years. We will be going all stand-on mowers. And I believe that a lot of companies are going in that direction because of a lot of the pros that I'm going to talk about and a lot of the cons for the sit-down mowers, in my personal opinion. Again, whatever works in your business, utilize. Whatever's getting you profit, utilize it. Okay, guys? This is not me telling you what to do. This is not me saying, hey, go out and buy a Skag V-Ride 2 or Skag XL or V-Ride XL. Go out and buy them. No, I'm not saying that. I'm not plugging that. Skag makes amazing zero turns as well. But this is what I'm implementing into my business. And if you're just starting out, these are things that maybe aren't as told to you by dealers and things of that nature because they're trying to make a sale. I'm not really, I truly use both machines. We still use our 60-inch deck for our Kubota Z421, I believe it's called. So it's like the mid-tier between the commercial and resident mower. It does the job. Not great horsepower, I'll be honest with you. So if you're looking for an entry mower, I wouldn't recommend that one. If I was to do it all over again, I would probably go with an Exmark or Skag. Not that Kubota makes a really bad machine. They're actually high quality, and for the price point for those mowers, they are a good entry point for people starting out. But as you scale your business, as you get more accounts, you're going to want that higher horsepower so you can get in and out quicker. So that's my 2 cents on the Z421 Kubota 60-inch. We still rock it. We still have our initial 48 Kubota Z411 that I initially bought when I started my company, and that has like a ton of hours on it. It's been through the ringer, still operates. We've kept it up maintenance-wise and making sure everything is still good to go with the engine and making sure we change air filters, change oil, change hydraulic fluid. All of those things we've been doing so well. And I'm really proud of the guys because that is a part of the company that is tough to transition when you're training employees to learn how to sharpen blades, to change oil, to do all of that. Someone who's not really familiar with that, if they don't do it on their own cars or if they had a lawnmower before, doesn't matter. It's a very hard thing to train somebody, but the guys picked it up really quick. They're doing the work and I applaud them, So let's get into this. I'm going to talk about just what I'm using right now. We have 3 mowers on our fleet right now. We have our 48 Z411 Kubota. We have our Z421 60-inch deck Kubota, and then our Skag V-Ride 2, which is a 52-inch deck, and like I said, the Kawasaki EFI? Yeah, EFI. So basically, we have a good fleet. We have a very versatile fleet. We also have a 48-inch walk-behind Exmark that is a bit old. We're going to probably replace that here in the next year. And we also have a little push mower for all those really small patches like on, curbs that it's just really easier to just use that mower. So we have some fenced in places around pools, so we don't want to be shooting grass anywhere near there. And even if you have a mulching kit or a chute blocker, it's still going to throw dust and all of that kind of stuff. And these bigger machines throw dust like crazy, especially right now. It's very, 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 very dry here in PA. Oh my God, it's awful right now. So let's get into it. Stand on versus sit down. We have 2 sit down mowers. We have 1 stand on mower. And for my company moving forward, we will be moving in the stand on direction. And that is to the point of 5 years, hopefully down the line, all of our mowers are stand on machines with a few walk behinds here and there for, like I said, fenced in backyards. Really hard to get to, but they do. Skag, and I believe Exmark has a 32 and 36 option for the V-Ride, and I don't know the name of the Exmark. I'm not a big Exmark guy, Not that I don't like the brand, I just haven't used it enough to have any knowledge to tell you guys. So my pros for the stand-on, okay, and this is, I have some information pulled up right on my laptop right here that I just want to share with you guys, and this is probably the biggest one for anybody starting out, or if you're not starting out and you're just kind of weighing your options on what to, maybe you need to replace a mower, maybe you need to add on a new mower because you're just growing like crazy, which I hope you are. That would be fucking awesome if you guys are just shooting up from like 5 accounts to 150 in like a year. If you guys are doing that, God bless you. But so basically, oh, I'm sorry, it wasn't a 28 horsepower. It's 26 horsepower for the V-Ride that we have currently. I think that's it, what we got. Yeah, so this is the V-Ride 2. I have the Skag price points up on my screen, as well as the, I believe, Turf Tiger 2, which is their sit-down on the, I don't want to say cheaper side, or the Tiger Cat 2, excuse me. Basically, this is the commercial grade mower that they have, which is also a 26 horsepower for 61 inch. And then for the 52 inch, I believe they have a 25, 26, and 28 version. So the 25 is the Kohler Command Pro engine. The 26 is the Kawasaki FT series or FT series EFI. And then the 52 inch is the Vanguard engine, which is the 28 horsepower. And that is for the Tiger Cat 2. So here are the price points for the Tiger Cat 2, which is the sit-down mower. $12.99 for both the Kohler and the Kawasaki, and then $12,799 for the Vanguard 52-inch. For the 61-inch, which is basically what you guys are going to be using if you have these bigger neighborhoods and maybe some commercial sites, you're going to want the bigger decks. So basically, for the 61-inch for the Tiger Cat 2, we got $13,249, $13,249 for the 26 horsepower. That is the Kawasaki. And then the Kohler is 26 horsepower as well, and it's $13,499. So the Vanguard is $13,999, and that is a 36 horsepower, which is a big, bulky machine. I like that. I think that's cool. But if you go to the V-Ride, which I'm going to do right now, the V-Ride 52-inch, and I'm not going to mention the 23 horsepower because, again, you want the horsepower. It's going to give you that better cut quality. It's going to get you in and out faster. You want efficiency to make profit. So I'm going to go from the 25 to the 37 and the 52-inch category, which is the Kohler Command Pro engine, is a 25 horsepower. That is $11,499. And the Kawasaki FT series which is what we have currently, and that is $11,749. The Vanguard is a 37 horsepower, 52-inch, 37 horsepower, and that is $12,999. And that's 61 level. 61 level is about the same as the sit-down mower, but if you go back to the Tiger Cat 2, which I'm a Skag guy through and through, you look at the 52-inch, you're only getting 25 horsepower to 28 horsepower versus with the three engines types. All of them are almost $1,000 over the V-Ride 2. And I'm even talking for, let me look here. I mean, for you to get a 37 horsepower 52-inch V-Ride, it is $12,999. Now, that is the highest end one that you can get from Skag, other than the XL, right? The XLs we'll talk about in a bit. But for the 52-inch, it's the same price, okay? For the 52-inch, oh, I'm sorry, wait, hold on. Let's go back to the Tiger Cat 2. Tiger Cat 2 price point is a bit cheaper, but you're only getting 28 horsepower out of that Vanguard engine, and that is a $12,799. So you're getting more bang for your buck out of the stand-on. So price point-wise, it makes more sense to get a V-Ride versus the sit-down mower because you're saving almost $1,000 if you go the 26 horsepower or the 25 horsepower. And that, to me, as a start, if you're starting your company, if you're trying to get into lawn care, if you want to make a name for yourself, you want these good engines and you want to get them at a better price point. And for me, the stand-on is superior when it comes to price point. Now let's get into another pro for the stand-ons. Okay, the pro for the stand-on, in my opinion, I've ran a zero turn for most of my career so far, sit-down zero turn. And this year, just now it's July, right? I can honestly tell you that it is a much more stable machine. And so basically what that means is the stability of the machine itself is going to be more versatile, right? You can do more with it. You feel more in control of the machine than you do on a sit-down mower because you don't see everything. So when you're more stable and you can see everything that's in front of you, when you're standing on a machine, there's nothing behind you, nothing. So everything is in front of you. And basically you can see all of the grass in front of you. If there's anything in the grass, sticks, dog toys, kids' toys, dog poop, that's a big one. But you can see everything. And on hills and going up hills, right, it's a way more stable machine. You can turn quicker. You just feel like you have way more control because the handles are a lot smaller. You're going to be like this versus like this. And I just feel personally, and again, this is not me telling you which direction to go. This is just from my personal opinion. I feel like I'm more stable on the stand-on mower versus the sit-down. As far as the other aspect of that kind of goes hand in hand with the stability is the physical health and the physical toll that a sit-down mower takes on your back and your arms. Now, you're gonna get tired doing this all day, right? Here, you're not doing that as much, okay? If you're doing this, you're not doing that as much. When you hit a bump, we all know it. We all have properties where we know there's a hole right there or there's a root right there. And if I hit that thing going full speed, it's not going to feel great. And when you're sitting down, you're bouncing like this. You're almost like riding a horse, right? And so what happens is your back is taking the brunt of that. And I can tell you straight up, just from my personal experience, from going from a sit-down mower last year to a stand-on this year, my back is in perfect health. Whereas last year, I was always sore. I was always beat up. I just felt like I was kind of hunched over all the time. And I just felt muscles in my back just really sore after every day. And we have some big commercial sites that if you're going up and down, up and down, up and down for an hour to 2 hours, right, it's going to take its toll. And I can tell you comfort-wise, the stand-on, superior. The pads that you lean against, superior. The seating in the sit-down ones are definitely comfortable. Don't get me wrong. A lot of guys like sitting all day, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not telling you which way to go. I'm saying from my personal experience, I believe the stand-on is much more safe, much more compatible for what you want to do and keep your physical health top tier. And so I just believe that it's a much more comfortable ride. It's a much more controllable ride than the sit-down mower. However, the sit-down does have some pros. So the sit-down mowers that I would say pro-wise is when you're doing those long fields. Now, if you have some commercial sites or if you have really, really high-end properties that have acreage of just, we do a wedding venue, right? I'll throw some clips on the screen right now for you guys. Basically, what it does is it allows you to sit all day and not have to worry about control, not have to worry about bouncing all over the place. And if you have a really flat strip of land, I give it to the sit-down. The sit-down is a much, much better machine because you have way more control over the machine going straight because the handles are a lot bigger. And also, you're sitting all day, so your comfort level, if it's a flat piece of land and there's not many bumps or rivets or anything like that or water problems that they have in their lawn, it's a much better ride. And so you can get a lot more done a lot quicker, especially if you're getting the 36 horsepower machine. The other thing that I will say versus the stand-on versus the sit-down is they're just easier to get. I think that's one of the biggest things that the sit-down zero turns have over the stand-ons currently is that they are just easier to get. And I give that to the sit-downs. They are way easier to buy. They are on demand. They are here. They are at the dealers right now. You can buy one today and bring it out that same day. Stand-ons in our area, specifically in Bucks County, Pennsylvania, they're not really a thing. Down south, I think they're a little more prevalent. They're a little more in demand. Here, though, they don't allocate a lot of stand-ons to these dealers because of the demand of the area and the market that we're in. So it was harder for me to get a Skag V Ride 2. I had to wait almost 2 months to get the machine delivered to me, right? Whereas if I went and got a Tiger Cat, it was on demand. It was there. It was at the dealership. I could take it that same day. So I give that to the sit-down. right? It's way more available, way more ready to go. You can get it, and it's easier to just finance if you want to, pay cash if you want to, get out the door, sign the paperwork, get out the door, get mowing, right? I'll give that to that for sure. The other thing that I like about the stand-ons versus the sit-downs is easy access to picking up things in a lawn, dog toys, kids' toys, sticks, things like that, right? All you have to do is step off, right? All you have to do is step off the platform. Even if you don't want to step off fully and the machine shuts down, you can keep one foot on the platform, the blades and everything will still run. You pick up the thing. If it's trash or something, you put it in if you have a little trash compartment, which we do, we just put it right in there. Or if you have a stick, move it. Or if you have a dog toy, just pick it up, cut that area, throw it back down. It's so much easier than a sit down where you have to go into neutral, you stand up, make sure everything's good, the blades are off, then you go and pick it up, then you go back down and sit down. It just wastes time. I think the stand-ons definitely are better in that regard. I think the other thing is safety. Safety is a big thing. If a machine, and I've seen horror stories and I don't want to see them, I hate seeing them because my guys are out in the field, I'm out in the field, we don't want to get hurt, right? If a mower flips and you're on a sit down, you're going with that thing. Sure, you could try to jump off, but it's going to be hard. Whereas a stand-on, you just step right off the platform, let the machine do its thing, and you're safe. I think that definitely goes to the stand-on. However, on the sit-down side, there are way more readily available baggers. If you guys bag grass, right? It's way more readily available instead of the stand-ons. The stand-ons are still working through the compatibility of these baggers. So if you do that for leaves or grass, I give it to the sit-downs. So that's basically it, guys. So for my company personally, we are moving toward stand-on only going forward because it just works for us. The guys love them. I love them. And I think it's a much safer, much better, much more versatile machine than the sit-downs. That is just my 2 cents. And they're coming out with XL versions of these machines. I know Exmark has one. Skag has the XL, which we're really heavily looking into for next year because we're getting into commercial mowing. The 72-inch, we're really, really heavily looking at possibly buying next spring. So I'm going all stand-on, and I believe that the industry is going in that direction, which is awesome. I think it's great. I think it's going to be more safe, and I think it's going to be more efficient for your crew as well as mine. So that's just my 2 cents, guys. Whatever works for you, utilize it, okay? Don't go into this thinking, oh my God, I need to do this, this, and this. No, man. Do what's best for your company. Do what's best for what your guys want, and that's how you do it, okay? So that's my personal opinion. That's my 2 cents on this. I hope you guys enjoy this podcast. We are going to be releasing this one every single week, and I can't wait to just explore more in the green industry with you guys and grow together. So thank you guys very much. Be sure to subscribe, leave a like, and I appreciate you guys checking out the channel. And all the new subscribers, thank you, thank you, thank you. And we have more lawn care content and landscaping content coming out soon. Have a great one, guys. Peace.